My birthday, my escape, and their meltdown yesterday. On my birthday, my dad dropped a bomb. His text read, "We sold your car. Family comes first. Be grateful we let you live here." Then, the kicker. "Oh, and your brother's starting college. You'll cover his first semester. $200 due this week." I immediately shot back, "Not happening." His reply? "Then pack your bags. You're dead to me." So I did. That same night, I walked out. This morning, they found what I left behind. Now my aunt's in tears, my uncle's screaming, and my dad's on the porch, begging neighbors for help. Honestly, it still feels fake. It was my birthday, and I was stuck at work all day, pretty typical for my family. My dad's big on earning your keep, always saying, "If you want something, you work for it." I was already annoyed about not even getting my birthday off, but figured I'd just grab takeout and chill later. Around 7 p.m., leaving work, I checked my phone. A flood of texts from my dad. Usually, it's just mundane stuff like trash or Wi-Fi, but these were long. The first one hit me like a punch. "We sold your car. Family comes first. Be grateful we let you live here." I literally froze in the parking lot. Was this a joke? His humor can be twisted. But then came the next eerily formal message. "Oh, and your brother's starting college. You'll cover his first semester. $200 due this week." My car wasn't anything special, just a used ride I'd saved for years to buy. I handled the registration, insurance, everything. But the title? In Dad's name. He insisted it was cheaper for insurance. I should have known that would bite me. At the time, I just needed to get to work and stop bumming rides. I texted back, "Not happening." That's when he hit me with the then, "Pack your bags. You're dead to me." The walk home took almost an hour. It was getting dark, and all I could think was, is this actually real? I walked in to find my mom in the kitchen, eyes glazed over, doing dishes. Dad was in the living room, TV blaring, but not watching. My brother Sterling was nowhere. "So, you actually sold my car?" I asked. Dad didn't even look up. "Family comes first. You're old enough to pitch in, so you will." This is his move. If I push back, he rallies the whole family against me. Sterling's always been the golden child. My aunt and uncle live nearby, always ready to be his backup. Finally, Mom mumbled, "You know your brother needs this. He's got a real future. Don't be selfish." Selfish? I'm the one always fixing their tech, setting up their phones, handling bills when Dad forgets, running errands. He never sees it. If I'm not doing exactly what he wants, I'm lazy. I went to my room and started packing. I know how this game goes. Last time I fought him, over lending Sterling my laptop, which he broke, it was weeks of silent treatment and petty jabs, always through someone else. I don't own much. Clothes, some tech, random stuff from high school. I could hear Dad on the phone, probably with my uncle, saying, "He's being dramatic. He's not backing down." I called my friend Ronan, asked if I could crash. He was confused, but said, "Sure." I crammed everything into 2 duffels and a backpack, running on pure rage. I wasn't even thinking about what I was leaving behind. Mom was crying in the hall, not saying anything to me. As I headed for the door, Dad finally got up and blocked me. "If you walk out, you don't come back. You should be grateful I let you stay this long." I wasn't listening, just trying to get past him. He shoved me, not hard, but enough. I shoved back. He looked at me like I was a stray dog. I just walked around him and left. On the way to Ronan's, I kept thinking, I can't let this go. My dad relies on me for everything. He talks big, but he can't even pay an electric bill online without me. I set up all their accounts, did their banking, even managed his side gig selling old furniture because he couldn't figure out the apps. He acts like I'm a freeloader, but I'm the one holding everything together behind the scenes. If I'm dead to him, I realized, I can take what I set up with me. Not illegal stuff, just removing myself from all the things I managed. I changed all my passwords, removed my info from their bills, shut down my side of his marketplace accounts. I left one thing behind, though, just to see if he'd notice. Something small, but it has all the receipts, literally. I texted my aunt, letting her know I was gone. No details, just, "Ask your brother." She called Dad immediately. I could hear him yelling through the wall. I just lay there on Ronan's couch, scrolling, wondering if I should tell people what really happened or let the drama unfold on its own. I guess I always knew Dad hated that I wouldn't just obey, like Sterling. He only cares about appearances, not actually helping. He treats me like a backup plan, someone to fix his messes, never a person. Sterling's the favorite because he's obedient. I'm the problem because I ask questions. I haven't slept. I keep checking my phone, waiting for the next round of texts, but nothing yet. Tomorrow's going to be a mess. I left that thing in the house where they'll find it. It's not much, but it'll start something, and when it does, I won't be around to clean it up. I'll update if this blows up. If not, whatever. At least I'm out. Update 1, the unraveling. If I thought things were messy before, I had no clue. I barely slept at Ronan's. His couch is basically springs and his cat thinks my head is a pillow. But I was too wired to care. My phone kept buzzing, group chats, Aunt Mary's name everywhere. I ignored it. I was waiting for them to really notice what I'd done. The first weird thing was my cousin posting in our family Facebook group, asking for help logging into their Wi-Fi. Not a huge deal, but that's always been my job. I set up all their tech, not just at our house, but at Aunt Mary and Uncle Kyle's, too. Routers, printers, streaming for the little cousins. Now I'm getting tagged in posts asking, "Can Kieran come by?" It's almost funny. I didn't answer. Then around noon, things got real. My mom called. I silenced it. Then Sterling texted, "Dad is flipping out because the money isn't where it's supposed to be." He didn't explain, but I knew. Dad barely understands a phone and refuses to do online banking, so I handled all the bill pay and transfers. Last night, I took my name off every shared account, transferred out what was mine, deleted my bank app from his phone, and canceled. All auto pays under my info. Water, electric, even the Netflix I paid for that Sterling shared with half the family. I didn't touch money that wasn't mine, but now nothing works. Bills are due and Dad has no idea what to do. This is where I admit I was basically their unpaid tech support errand guy. Dad didn't just expect it, he acted like it was my job. He'd say it's because he's old school, but it's just laziness. He always wanted to be in control, but only if someone else did the actual work. Why does he treat me like this? Honestly, I think he's always been annoyed I don't just obey. Sterling's more his type. Quiet, goes along with things. I ask questions, I push back, so he calls it attitude. He never hits me, but he shoves, slams doors, yells so loud the neighbors hear. He doesn't care if it embarrasses Mom or Sterling. It's about being right. Ronan thought I was exaggerating until I showed him the texts. "You're a leech. You owe us. You wouldn't survive a week on your own." I even got one while we were eating leftover pizza for breakfast, pure, all caps rage. Around 2 p.m., a weird Facebook Marketplace notification. Dad's listing was up, but with the wrong number. He'd used mine for years because he hates talking to strangers. Now buyers are texting me about old speakers. I just tell them to try. His number. I know he'll hate that, but it's his mess now. I also had access to his side business spreadsheet, contacts, pickup times, inventory. I took my login off and left it blank. Not deleting anything, just no longer connected. He'll freak when he realizes he doesn't know who's coming to the house, what's paid for, what's not. That's on him, too. By afternoon, Sterling was texting nonstop. First mad, then begging. He said, "Dad's blaming me because you left, and now the college payment is due. But the account isn't locked. It's just not mine anymore, so Dad actually has to do it." Sterling tried to make it my fault, then admitted he didn't even want to go to college this year. Dad just decided it was right and signed him up without asking. I told him to deal with Dad. I'm not paying for his life. Aunt Mary called. I answered, knowing she'd just show up if I didn't. She was furious. Dad's saying you stole from the family, that you're sabotaging everything, that you're ungrateful. I told her to ask him how many bills were in my name, how much time I put into keeping things running, how many nights I spent fixing their internet at midnight when his friends came over for sports. She hung up. That night, Ronan and I grabbed food and drove past my house. Uncle Kyle's truck was there, never a good sign. He's Dad's enforcer. They were both outside yelling at each other. Mom was on the porch, arms crossed, staring at her phone. She wasn't crying this time, probably out of tears. Back at Ronan's, I started getting DMs from random cousins, wanting to know what happened, why I left, why everyone's mad. I kept it vague. There was a fight. Dad sold my car. I left. Some believed me, some didn't. Aunt Mary posted in the family chat that Kieran has chosen to separate himself from our values. I just muted the chat. I know what's coming next. Sterling texted again. Guess who's locked out of his college account? Dad never wrote down the login info, and since I set it up, he needs me to reset it. I didn't. I sent him the customer service number and wished him luck. He called me a jerk, but I know he's mad at Dad. Not really me. This morning, I woke up to a wall of texts. Dad's trying to guilt me. Electric bill overdue, water getting shut off, Sterling can't register for classes, Aunt Mary threatening. Grandma. Like that ever helped. He says, I need to come home and fix everything, or else. I didn't answer. Ronan's mom came home, saw my bags. What's up? She asked. I gave her the short version. She just shook her head. Family's weird, sometimes. She gave me a plate of food and told me I could stay as long as I needed. I'm not feeling guilty, not even a little. I kept my stuff legal. I didn't touch money that wasn't mine. I just took back what was actually mine and left them with the stuff they didn't appreciate. You want to treat me like a servant? You can live without the service. The last message I got was from a neighbor, an old dude who walks his dog past our house. Saw your dad out front, looked rough, heard some yelling. Hope you're okay, kid. If you need anything, let me know. I didn't answer, but I kept the message. I'm waiting for them to find what I left behind in my room. It's not illegal, not even that dramatic, but they're going to hate it. And when they do, I want them to know exactly who made this mess. If you're still reading, yeah, revenge isn't just walking away. It's making people realize what they lost when they treated you like nothing. Next update soon if they don't. Burn the house down first. Update 2. Full meltdown, all right. I didn't expect to post again this soon, but things have gone way further than I thought. I knew my dad was stubborn, but I didn't think he'd go full meltdown in front of half the neighborhood. It's been a couple of days, and honestly, I thought I'd just get a few angry texts and then silence. Nope. It's been group chats, emergency, calls, and more guilt trips than I thought possible. Here's how it's playing out. Ronan came in with my phone. I'd left it charging, and he's like, dude, answer your family. They're blowing me up on Messenger now. I had a string of missed calls from Dad, 2 from Aunt Mary, and 1 from Uncle Kyle. I almost didn't answer. Finally, I picked up Mom's call, thinking maybe she'd be normal for once. Nope. Why are you doing this to us? Your brother's future is at stake. You're tearing the family apart. I told her. Dad sold my car, said I was dead to him, so I left. She hung up. I heard her slam a door in the background. Then Sterling texted, which is weird. He rarely messages me directly. Dad's lost it. He's blaming me for everything, says I need to fix the college account or he's pulling me out. I asked, did you even want to go? He paused. Not really, but Dad says it's an investment. I replied, you're not an investment? You're a person. He left me on red. So now I'm sitting at Ronan's, eating stale chips, just waiting for the next bomb to drop. Around noon, a family friend I barely know from backyard cookouts DM'd me. Your dad's calling everyone trying to get help with the water bill and can't get into his account. Is everything okay at home? I just said, yeah, I moved out. Dad's handling it. She sent a thumbs up. Later, I saw Dad post a long public rant on his timeline. Typical. About kids these days and respect and how people don't know how to sacrifice for family anymore. He tagged Aunt Mary and Uncle Kyle, who both commented, "We're here for you, you're doing the right thing, family comes first." Then I noticed my cousin Monica commented, "What happened to Kieran's car?" Silence. Nobody wanted to answer that one. Around 4 p.m., Ronan and I were watching YouTube when I heard a car outside. It was Uncle Kyle. He came up to the door and just stood there. Ronan opened it. Kyle said, "Is Kieran here? We need to talk." I went out. He didn't even say hi, just launched into it. "You need to fix this. Your dad can't pay the bills. Your brother's in trouble. We're all trying to help, and you're being selfish." I told him I'm not responsible for Dad's mess. I was never treated like family unless it was about work or money. I'm not doing this anymore. He got mad, stepped forward, and shoved me. Ronan stepped in. "Back off, man." Kyle snapped, "You're just like your dad, always causing trouble." I said, "Maybe take a look at how you all treat people who don't do what you want." Kyle turned red, muttered something about ungrateful kids, then stormed off, slamming the gate behind him. Now everyone in the family is blowing up my phone, but I'm not caving. I started getting texts from random numbers, I guess Dad's, giving out my number now. One was from my Aunt Barbara, who I barely talked to, asking, "Is it true you stole from your dad?" I just sent her a screenshot of the car title with his name and the payment receipts for the bills I paid all year. She didn't answer. Then, out of nowhere, Sterling showed up at Ronan's. He was on his bike, looked exhausted, said he couldn't handle it at home. He came in, grabbed water, and just sat there, silent for like 10 minutes. Finally, he said, "Dad's telling everyone you're a thief, that you ruined our lives, and Grandma's threatening to cut off his loan." I asked, "Are you okay?" He shook his head. "I'm tired of being the favorite if it means I get blamed for everything." He said he wished he could just get out. I told him, "You can, but you gotta want it." He said he didn't know. We talked for a while, just regular stuff. He asked what I was planning next. I said, "I'm not letting Dad walk all over me anymore. If they want me gone, I'm gone. But I'm not leaving quietly." Later, I got a message from my mom, just her. No group chat. "Your dad's losing it. Yelling at everyone, slapping the table, making threats." She added, "I wish you'd just talked to him, but I get it." I didn't reply. That night, I checked the family group chat again. Now there was fighting. Uncle Kyle and Aunt Mary were blaming each other. Monica was saying it wasn't fair. Grandma was saying she was ashamed of all of us. Someone posted a screenshot of my dad's rant about family leeches, and then half the cousins left the chat. I almost laughed. The weirdest part? Sterling's actually talking to me now, like he actually wants to know how I'm doing. He said he told Dad he won't do college if it means tearing the family apart. And Dad lost it, pushed him against the wall, then went outside and started yelling at the neighbors about ungrateful kids. Sterling said Mom tried to step in, and Dad shoved her too. That's when Aunt Mary started crying, and Uncle Kyle started yelling at Dad, telling him he's lost it. So now, the family's split. Nobody's talking to anyone. Dad's making a fool of himself in the neighborhood, and Sterling says he's thinking about moving in with a friend if things don't chill out. I told him he could crash at Ronan's if he needs to. Ronan shrugged, said, "Sure." For the first time, I feel like I actually did something right, not just for me, but for Sterling too. I'm not fixing their mess, but I'm not letting them lie about me either. I know there's still stuff going down at the house. I left that packet in my old desk, and I know they haven't found it yet. When they do, it's going to be a whole new level of chaos. I'll update if anything else explodes. I have a feeling it's about to. Final update. The truth revealed. So, it happened. Not gonna lie. It's kind of surreal writing this. I always thought revenge stories were mostly fake or just internet drama, but this is real. It's ugly. And it's kind of exactly what I wanted. It started super normal. Woke up at Ronan's again. His cat tried to eat my charger cable, whatever, and check my phone. Nothing big at first, just some random texts from my cousin Monica asking if I was coming to the next family thing. Nope. And Dad's usual guilt trip crap, mostly ignored. But then I got this absolutely unhinged string of texts from Aunt Mary, all caps, saying, "How could you do this? You've ruined everything." I thought, they finally found the packet. To back up for those who missed it, before I left, I put together a folder. All the receipts, screenshots of every bill I paid, every transfer I made for my dad, even the messages where he told me to put stuff in my name or use my account so he could get a bonus, or because it's just easier. I put a letter in there spelling out exactly what I handled, what I paid for, and what was actually on him. I even included a little summary of his side hustle money. How much came in, how much went straight to his collectibles, not you. No, the family fund. I left it in the bottom drawer of my old desk, right under all the random cables and junk. I knew someone would find it eventually because my mom's always cleaning when she's mad. So, yeah, I guess they found it. Ronan's kitchen window faces the street, so when Uncle Kyle's truck pulled up to my house, I could see everything. He went in like normal, but about 5 minutes later, I heard yelling from 3 houses down. Not just regular yelling, that kind of screaming where you can tell nobody's holding back for the neighbors. Aunt Mary's voice was in there too, and she was crying. I saw her slam the screen door and sit on the porch, head in hands, just sobbing. Kyle came out, red-faced, slammed his hand on his truck, then went back in and started yelling again. My dad came out after a while, phone in hand, pacing on the porch. He called someone. I could hear his voice even from Ronan's talking about how everyone's turning on him, that it's all lies. I'm making him look bad. At one point, he was calling out to the neighbor across the street, asking if she'd seen me, like I'm hiding behind a bush or something. She just shrugged and walked her dog in the other direction. Then I got a text from my mom, which is super rare because she usually just likes to stay out of the drama. "I read your letter. I wish you'd told me sooner." She added that Dad is furious, and Uncle Kyle is threatening to cut him off if he doesn't sort himself out. She said Aunt Mary is crying, Uncle Kyle is yelling at Dad, and now Dad's outside begging the neighbors for help because the electric is off and the water bill hasn't been paid. Sterling called me, which is wild because he usually only texts. "It's chaos here. Dad's blaming everyone. Uncle Kyle's threatening to leave, Aunt Mary's crying in the kitchen, and some neighbor came over to see what the noise was about." Sterling said, "Your packet blew everything up?" He actually sounded kind of relieved. Then I got another text, this time from Grandma. She said she got sent copies of my receipts and wants to have a talk with your father. I almost laughed. I didn't answer. The best part? Dad tried to get into the family group chat to defend himself, but Monica and a couple cousins are asking for proof. "Show us the bills! Show us where the money went!" Dad just keeps saying, "Family comes first." But now nobody's letting him get away with it. It's all out there. I even saw a screenshot of the car sale doc, the one with his signature, not mine, floating in the chat. People are putting 2 and 2 together. Ronan's mom came in and asked if I wanted anything from the store. I told her I was good. Then, she said, "Your dad's making a scene out front. Do you want me to call someone?" I said, "Nah, he'll get tired eventually." She added, "He's out there asking the neighbors if anyone can help with the water bill." I just shook my head. In the middle of all this, Sterling messaged me again. "I think I'm done. I'm going to stay at a friend's for a while. Can you give me a ride?" I texted back, "Sure," and told him to meet me at the corner. Ronan tossed me his keys and said, "Bring back fries." That's basically the most support anyone's given me since this started. Right before I left, I got one last call from Aunt Mary. She wasn't yelling this time. She was just tired. "I wish things were different," she said. I replied, "Me too, but I'm not sorry." I drove by the house and saw Dad still on the porch, talking to the neighbor who always complained about our recycling bins. Now he's the one asking for help. Uncle Kyle's truck was gone. Aunt Mary was still inside, but the kitchen light was off. I didn't stop. So yeah, that's it. I left the packet, they found it, and now everyone knows. My dad always said, family comes first. But what he meant was his comfort comes first. Everyone else just keeps things running underneath. Not anymore. I'm not going back. I don't care if the electric gets shut off or if he has to actually call the water company himself. I'm not being the backup plan. If there's a lesson here, it's this. Don't let people use you just because it's easier for them. Sometimes, you gotta let everything break so people see the mess they made. Anyway,